My name is Daniel Bruchko, and I'm a speech-language pathologist. I currently work at a skilled nursing center. I use Say It Best software for communication, memory, and attention enhancement. The Say It Best software programs can be used with children and adults. I'll walk you through the adult application for those diagnosed with dementia and intellectual disability. The software is visually appealing, engaging with pictures and stories that clients can easily relate to. Typically for the elderly, speech therapists use this software, but caretakers such as family members, recreational therapists, and activity department staff can effectively use it as well. Staff will find this software valuable who work with adults with intellectual disability, which includes in-home supports and respite services, employment and adult day services, community living and life-sharing services. Initially, make sure your client wears their hearing aid or glasses when appropriate. We include as an option a microphone headset to help with those clients with hearing loss. This is an important feature because 1 in 3 people over 65 have a hearing decibel loss severe enough to make listening to voices more challenging. Make sure the volume control is set correctly by asking them to repeat what they heard. Okay, let's start. Here's what you'll see and hear when you open it up. I usually ask some check-in questions to make sure that they are well-oriented and give them an opportunity to express themselves. I ask them very specific and open-ended questions such as, do you like the music? What do you see? What colors are the balloons? The first option says word. The narrator introduces the story. This is followed by the first scene of the story.
Sophie and her brother Sam were very sad about being forced to move into a new house.
In The Secret in the Ceiling, the story is about the mystery of the circle in blood red in the ceiling. The characters go on to solve the mystery.
Inside the circle was a list of things to do and find.
As the pictures are shown and segments of the story are read, the client has opportunities to discuss the function of objects, naming, and can talk about the objects as they relate to real life. To illustrate, let's look again at the ceiling. The narrator tells us there is a circle in blood red on the ceiling. Now that the narrator has used the word in the story, the caregiver or therapist has an opportunity to help the client talk about what is pictured. Ask what is pictured. What kind of ceilings do they remember from their home, school, or place of worship? You can try calling their attention to the ceiling in the room. Encourage them to describe its color. Are there any blood red circles on this ceiling? If not, are there cracks on the ceiling, or do they see ceiling tiles? You can ask them to retell the short part of the story they heard to promote retention of information. Asking where the circle is helps them improve spatial concept skills. I will now show how I use phrase option to increase on-topic statements with my clients. This is the introduction page for The Secret in the Ceiling. All of the programs in this series have the same options. Unlike the word option, the scenes for phrase and sentences include questions from the narrator at the end of each segment.
Let's get a fork to share the fudge. What did they need to eat it with?
Attending to information and answering questions helps to preserve functional verbal expression for meaningful interaction with others. Staff members and families can serve this useful function with this software series. Patients with dementia have limited attention spans and have difficulty following long conversations and narratives. To address this concern, present the story one slide at a time and provide enough time for the patient to make comments on what he sees and hears. Each segment of the story provides all the information needed, so demands on impaired episodic or autobiographical and working memory are reduced. A speech-language pathologist can measure a client's progress with the goal of increasing on-topic statements and decreasing verbal perseverations. Off-topic statements, which I find are typically about wanting to go home or finding his or her car.
There was a kitchen there. They had a big bowl of cereal.
In using this program with the dementia population, we found that reminiscence occurs naturally as the client listens to the story and reflects on the pictures. During some sessions, just allow the senior to absorb the information and encourage him or her to talk about what they see.
Is Fufu with the fox?
In addition to answering the yes-no question from the narrator, ask some additional questions. The use of yes or no questions is associated with fewer communication breakdowns at the conversational level. Asking WH questions, or questions that begin with who, what, where, when, and why, place demand on auditory comprehension and require retention of information presented. Increasing accuracy in this area can assist the client in safely completing activities of daily living with caregivers who give instructions during these activities. We suggest taking data on all the WH questions initially and targeting the types of questions that the client can answer at least 75% of the time. The Say It Best software series is ideal for repetition tasks. Use the program to target retention of auditory information and the ability to repeat information verbally. Each of our programs gives the client the opportunity to choose from word, phrase, and sentence level responses. When you click on the picture, the program plays the word, phrase, or sentence level response for the client to repeat. This is the sentence level.
Rachel was from Richmond.
I see many patients who are at increased risk for social isolation as their receptive and expressive language worsens with the progression of dementia. As a consequence, they frequently call out either random words or calling out for help and other repetitive statements. The intellectually challenged will also exhibit these behaviors and use vocalizations with physical self-stimulation. Using this program with combination of doctor-prescribed medications and the help from a multidisciplinary medical team can help preserve the skills needed to participate with activities of everyday life. Finding opportunities that allow our clients to preserve their ability to express themselves during everyday care and in social situations can be difficult. The Say It Best series addresses this challenge. Use it to progress with goals that you have written to improve your client's ability to successfully interact with others. If you are a family member, use it to bond with your mother or father. Allow him to reflect on what he sees and hears from the programs. You may be surprised that each time he or she offers something new. I have worked with clients as they have progressed through the stages of Alzheimer's, in addition to people with intellectual challenges. Every individual has preserved strengths. Find out what they are and use this program to preserve and develop these strengths. I hope that you enjoy the Say It Best program series and that it creates special memories for you and your patient or loved ones.